On Billboard tonight, become a published author with an International Literary Prize, Americana music from Third and Church. Welcome to Billboard with me, Ted Stanley, for our monthly roundup of arts and entertainment in East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. In our new feature for 2023, we look back at some of our most popular guests over the last 6 years and ask, where are they now?
On a significant birthday, I did a musical road trip. We went into this bar and got a drink and sat down, and the band's playing in the corner, and the pedal steel player began to play. And as soon as he played, I went, oh, that's it, this is great. I'd really love to put a band together, do an Americana, but I said what I'd like it to do is harmonies, because I love harmony singing. Way on me, walk right back to me. Ian put the idea to me, something acoustic, how about we just play some American songs? Anything that's got an American influence. Just the two of us for a start, get some harmonies going. And it wasn't long before, after we'd played a few songs together, that we realised it would be great to have a third member. That's when Ian approached Duncan.
We had a couple of sessions together at Ian's house and it seemed to gel really quickly, which was really encouraging as well, especially from the harmonies point of view, because it just seemed to blend straight away, which was great.
And we've just explored all areas of American music as we've been going along and building the repertoire higher and higher. Basically, there's a TV series was on called Nashville, and on season 4 or something there was a honky-tonk, and the honky-tonk was called Third and Church, and I went, that's a fantastic name for a band. Dave and I have known each other for over 50 years. We used to get together after we'd done our homework at school and jam on our new instruments and harmonise. It's funny, I always wanted to play the bass, right from being 8, 9 years old and standing in front of the record player with a tennis racket listening to the Beatles. When I was 15, I picked up a bass borrowed from a friend at school and taught myself to play it.
I'm slightly younger than these two chaps here. We often joke about the fact that I bring the average age down, but I shan't mention that. Anyway, mine are the same as Ian's and Dave's, to be honest. My very early influences are rock and blues. And like Ian and Dave, a very eclectic mix on top of that. It's been nice with this Americana because we have used it as a very broad spectrum of Americana music rather than stick to country and western.
Say it's very nice and then you run. We're all pretty much of the same sort of school of thought when it comes to the material. Somebody will suggest a song, and I think probably secretly the rest of us have been thinking somewhere about that song anyway. So it all just seems to fit together quite easily. Somebody described us, yes, I like what you're doing, you're very lively. Well, the thing is we are blessed and fortunate that we are able to do it. We're able to. It's like going back to when we were 14, back to the basics of the excitement of a new instrument and the energy. That's how it feels. And the lucky thing about Americana, it's a genre of music that comes from or refers to America. So in a way, we can get away with anything. That's exactly what you're saying.
They are really lovely guys, but the music that they do is just so full of cheer and
uplifting. It's uplifting
Yeah.
and it's entertaining as well.
Yeah.
They're a great bunch of guys, all excellent musicians in their own right. They've got a really loyal following of great fans, and they always packed a moon on the water when they played there. So I can't recommend them highly enough.
You'll see three guys who were really pleased to be able to play and having a really good time. We are definitely having a great time.
We really enjoy ourselves.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's the ideal scenario where it's your hobby.
There's nothing better than when you hit the harmony that there's a kind of a warm rush. It's like, it's just, it envelops you in joy.
Yeah.
Little sister, don't you do what your big sister does. Don't you do what your big sister does. Don't you do what your big sister does.
We first met Grimsby-based Americana band Third and Church back in 2020 as they struggled with the COVID crisis. Now one of the most popular bands on the local music scene, they have even been given the ultimate accolade of having a beer named after them by local artisan beer makers Firehouse Brewery.
Well, we've just been playing shows and we've been rehearsing, honing our art, so to speak. We've been very fortunate that we kind of captured the imagination of certain people of our style of music, and the fact that it's three gentlemen of a certain age playing acoustic music, not hiding behind a drum kit and harmonising. Prostate cancer. Unfortunately, one of the members of the band got diagnosed last springtime, and thank goodness it was diagnosed in good time and everything's fine and dandy and he's back to fighting fit, I'm pleased to say. But it made us realise that once we started to talk to people about it, how it does affect people. And we decided last summer that we would raise as much money as we could for prostate cancer UK. And throughout the whole of August, we raised nearly £1,200, which was amazing. We had one guy came along and bought a t-shirt for 50 quid. What can you say? We launched our prostate cancer appeal at a small bar in Louth called the Gaslamp Lounge. Jason, who's the main brewer, and Lou, his wife, are so enthusiastic about what we do, and when we mentioned the prostate cancer, Jason said, well, why not I brew you a beer? And we went, you're joking, that would be wonderful. He said, I'll brew you a beer, and then he said, we'll give a percentage of every sale of beer to prostate cancer. And I said, well, that would be amazing. So, yep, the beer is now being brewed. The first batch has 612 pints of it. It's bubbling away in Louth, and we're looking forward to sampling it within the next few days. He particularly went for a West Coast IPA. Now, when I asked him about it, he says it's got a lot of citrus in it, but he says it's a combination of American hops and British barley. And that's great because we're a British band playing American music, so it absolutely hit the spot, so I can't wait to sample it. I can't wait to walk up to the bar and go, bartender, I'd like a pint of Third and Church beer, please.
Don't you do what your big sister does. Don't you do what your big sister does.
The Third and Church West Coast IPA, which will also raise money for prostate cancer, was launched at the Gaslamp Lounge in Louth in February and is now available in a pub near you or to order from the Firehouse Brewery. From music to literature now, and a review of the latest book releases with Hugh Richards, who has returned from the sunny shores of Spain to enjoy a bleak midwinter in Blighty.
Thanks, Ted. We start with a poet writing prose. Most English-speaking children who like poetry like the poems of Michael Rosen, especially his 1989 masterpiece, We're Going on a Bear Hunt. Adults might also remember him for Carrying the Elephant, his description of grieving the death of his son in 2002. Now he offers Getting Better, a memoir of that tragedy and his own long-term illnesses, including a dangerous and persistent bout of COVID. Rosen could never write a misery memoir. He's far too interested in happiness and laughing to make his readers sad. This is a guide to enjoying the ride, however bumpy. Bret Easton Ellis made his name with American Psycho. Now, in The Shards, he shares a fictionalised account of his own school days. A new boy arrives, charismatic, enigmatic and knowing. Young Bret is fascinated and increasingly frightened of this disruptive influence on an otherwise complacent community. Of course, a serial killer is on the loose, a psycho, perhaps, in America. As always with Ellis, the story is scary, dark, quite funny, and full of violence. Fictional violence, I hope. The Enlightenment, the age of reason from the late 17th century to the late 18th, is conventionally viewed as a European achievement of science and philosophy, the triumph of rationality over faith and unquestioned authority, the achievement of European intellectuals like Isaac Newton and Voltaire. David Grieber argues that it was all started by a bunch of pirates in Madagascar. In Pirate Enlightenment, or The Real Libertalia, he suggests that the real experiment in free thought and equal society was first attempted in a community of traders and buccaneers, escaped slaves, whores and philosopher kings, in a democratic society of the exiled and rejected, a political salon in the Indian Ocean. We're all heirs of the Enlightenment and, sadly, of its subsequent betrayals. If Grieber is right, then I wish I had a dram of rum with his liberal corsairs. Me hearties. Jay Shetty has produced The 8 Rules of Love, a guide to how to fall in, survive, preserve, and fall out of love. If you haven't worked this out for yourself, you might still have trouble reading. That's it, Ted. I'm off to find those scientific pirates and walk the Max Planck.
Thank you, Hugh. Good to have you back. In theatre news, the Caxton Players in Grimsby are performing Terence Frisby's hilarious comedy Funny About Love from the 4th to the 11th of March.
I'm Nigel Starworthy and I'm stage managing Funny About Love. It's Terence Frisby who is best known for There's a Girl in My Soup. It's a cast of 4, there's 2 men, two ladies. It's set in a flat in the posh part of London. So we've got Derek Hodges, Amanda Hodges, Rachel Walton and Dane Nielsen.
I play the character of Piers, who has just left his wife for his secretary, who is much younger than he is, so it's quite obvious what he's doing there, isn't it? And I have to go back to my wife to sort of discuss how we're going to do the finances, who's going to get what, who's going to have what money, who's going to live where, and all that sort of thing. And the results of these meetings end up in quite a hilarious, almost farcical moments. But there's moments in the play that are both scary, briefly, and also quite creepy at times, certainly very chauvinistic, but also hilarious. It's just good fun. You know, you're coming out, you're going to have a night's entertainment, you'll go away with a smile on your face. You'll also go away hating Piers. It starts on the 4th of March and it runs for a week through to the 11th of March.
I've worked in care on and off for 18 years now. I enjoy it so much. You know, I'm making a real difference to people's lives. It's so rewarding.
I'd encourage people to definitely come in to this sector. I wouldn't do anything else now.
Well, it's a very rewarding job. You're making a difference to people's lives.
I love my job. I think it's a very demanding job, but the outcomes do outweigh that.
I laugh, I smile, I cry with the clients, so they come as part of the family.
Going out and changing their lives, but then they change yours at the same time. It's a lot more rewarding than I thought.
Coming up on tonight's show, music review with Kirsty Hannah. But first, here's actress and broadcaster Liz Drury with a review of some of the latest film releases.
I love you.
Love you.
Welcome to this special edition of Film Review, featuring some of the outstanding films from this year's BAFTAs. Aftersun, Charlotte Wells's directorial feature film debut, is an emotionally riveting coming-of-age drama. This stylistically daring and beautifully understated tale of love and loss follows 11-year-old Sophie and her separated father Callum as they holiday together in Turkey. 20 years later, Sophie's tender recollections of their last holiday become a powerful and heartrending portrait of their relationship as she tries to reconcile the father she knew with the man she didn't.
Done it all and you can too.
Wish we could have stayed for longer.
Me too.
Kate Blanchett wins Best Actress for her performance as Lydia Tarr, the groundbreaking conductor of a major German orchestra. In this skillful and polished piece of work by writer and director Todd Field, we meet Tarr at the height of her career as she's preparing both a book launch and much anticipated live performance of Mahler's Fifth Symphony. Over the ensuing weeks, her life begins to unravel in a singularly modern way. The result is a searing examination of power and its impact and durability in today's society.
You want to dance the mask, you must service the composer. You gotta supplement yourself, your ego, and yes, your identity. You must in fact stand in front of the public and God and obliterate yourself.
Best British Film went to The Banshees of Inisherin, which we reviewed last month, but Best Film and a host of other awards went to All Quiet on the Western Front. Directed by Edward Berger, this gripping story of a young German soldier on the Western Front of World War I is based on the world-renowned bestseller by Erich Maria Remarque. Paul and his comrades experienced firsthand how the initial euphoria of war turns into desperation and fear as they fight for their lives and for each other.
Ich hab Angst vor dem, was kommt. Du musst jetzt tapfer sein. Für die, die es nicht geschafft haben. Für uns alle.
Other BAFTA-featured films that are also worth a look include Wonder, Babylon and Good Luck to You, Leo Grande.
Thank you, Liz. Music now with singer and music historian Kirsty Hanna as she chooses some of the best live gigs around the region.
Ducks Beers in Grimsby are hosting a solo set from John Power of Cast and the Lars, with support from Daniel Cliff on Saturday the 4th of March.
When did it start? When she first broke my heart.
Popular saxophonist Snake Davis is joined by Helen Watson for Sax on Sunday at the Ropery Hall in Barton on the 26th of March. Another dream team, these two have been best buddies and creative partners since they met in the 80s, when Snake helped Helen's When You Love Me I Get Lazy slither up the pop charts. Louth and District Concert Society are bringing internationally acclaimed classical guitarist Carlos Bonnell to the Riverhead Theatre on Sunday the 26th of March. His deeply personal and expressive style of playing will take a journey through time, from Moorish penchant to classic pieces from Spain and Latin America. British singer-songwriter Cy Cranston began by busking in the streets of London before forming the Jewelers, a successful ska band with a hit record in 2004. If you enjoy music influenced by 1950s and 1960s rock and roll and rhythm and blues, you can see him at the Casablanca Club in Grimsby on Friday the 17th of March. And finally, English folk rock band The Levellers embark on a brand new tour in 2023, accompanied by a new album of acoustic reworkings of some of their finest compositions. You can see them at Hull New Theatre on the 16th of March.
Earlier this month, the 6th annual Hammond House Literary Festival was held at the University Centre Grimsby. UK prize winners from the 2023 Literary Prize were joined by writers from around the world to celebrate their achievements and see the launch of the 2023 International Literary Prize.
I am making changes to the plans that I have laid, taking all the lessons from the journey I have made.
My name is Nash Kolandalur and I won the first prize for the screenwriting competition. I'm originally from London, but I live in Barcelona currently.
My name is Wesley Spina and I was shortlisted in the short story writing contest. I'm from New York.
I'm Nana Nefornica. I was awarded Editors International Choice. I come from Oulu in Finland.
Hi, I'm Ian Critchley. I won the Short Story Award.
My name's Chris I'm from Beverley and my short story, The Joined, has been highly commended in the competition.
I'm Guinevere Clark and I had a poem shortlisted called Bone Maker, and I had a highly commended poem called The Keeper as well, so I'm really honoured.
I'm Val Ormrod and I was honoured to receive second prize in the poetry category.
My name's Tony Trafford and I've been shortlisted in the poetry competition for my poem Arms and the City.
I'm Liz Carroll and I came second in the script writing competition.
I feel fantastic about it. It's an achievement.
It's always great when you enter something and you get shortlisted because you know you're doing something right.
I'm absolutely ecstatic, completely bowled over. I just wasn't expecting it at all.
That's very nice. It's always nice to have your work recognised.
I was delighted. I was watching the video and it sort of flashed and it said Elizabeth Carroll, UK, and I thought that's a mistake. So went back and looked at it again, and yes, I was really chuffed.
It's a double sense of excitement because the Hammond House Publishing is obviously based in Grimsby. I'm a Grimsby-born poet. I left when I was 18 and I travelled from Swansea yesterday back to Grimsby for the award, and it just feels like I've come full circle.
This year's theme is fate, and the theme song Between the Lines was performed live at the festival by local folk duo Green Dreaming. The full festival video will be available soon. In the meantime, you can download the theme song from Spotify, Amazon, Apple and most popular music streaming sites, and find full details of the competition from Hammond House website. In other entertainment news, Gemma Lidgard reviews some of the best shows from around the region in box office.
Cheers, Ted. So, starting us off at Grimsby's Auditorium on the 17th of March is Russell Kane live with the Essex Variant Tour. Russell's high-octane show brings nuclear energy, belly laughs and pants-wetting observations, which prove that laughter really is the best medicine. At the Drill Hall in Lincoln on the 30th of March is Roachford. Roachford, who has become one of the most compelling and consistent rock and soul artists that the UK has produced since Cuddly Toy, which reached number 4 in the UK charts back in 1988. The Rolling Clones head over to the Plowright Theatre in Scunthorpe on the 25th of March. A tribute band that managed to recreate the Stones at their most prolific and do it with all the passion and raw energy of the real thing. Great fun, fine musicians, and an excellent choice of songs. It's most definitely a show not to be missed. Over at Hull City Hall on the 17th of March are the Levellers with their acoustic tour. 5 years after they set out on their hugely acclaimed 2018 acoustic tour and released its companion album, We the Collective, the Levellers embark on a brand new acoustic tour in 2023, accompanied by a new album of acoustic reworkings of some of their finest compositions. And finally, over at Louse Riverhead Theatre is the Elliot Morris Band on the 12th of March. Originating from Lincolnshire, award-winning singer-songwriter and guitarist Elliot Morris has gained a formidable reputation as one of the hardest working and most sought after artists on the acoustics.
Some of us are frightened, some of us don't care. The eye set for silence with a splintered static stare. Some of us keep burping with our eyes tied in knots. But you see there's more beneath the eye if you take your blindfold off.
Well, that's almost all for tonight's show. You can keep up to date with the latest news on our Facebook page. And to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes, click the subscribe button below. If you have a story you would like us to feature on Billboard, email details to news@billboardtv.uk. From everyone on the Billboard team, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again in March for Elvis Tribute, Ben Portsmouth, and more entertainment news, entertaining guests, and great music.
Just west of the tracks, holding me to hold me back. While your door, they're calling out my name. I came in at 5 a.m. and she was waiting for me. She said, "Where have you been?" I said, "I was out." She said, "You're no good 'cause you're running without love. I'm going straight to hell, just like my mama said. I'm going straight to hell. I'm going straight to hell, just like